I'm Shiva.
I'm Sandy.
And this is
Our Relaxing Hobby.
Hello.
Hi.
Tonight's episode is going to be about how often and how much basically you should feed your fish.
Right.
Shiva's fish 24/7.
Yeah, we'll be interviewing some of the fish this episode and asking them how often we should be feeding them. But meanwhile, before we talk to the fish who are going to lie through their little gills, we're going to tell you a little bit of specifically the ones we have.
Right. For the smaller fish, they recommend no more than your fish can eat in about 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay.
That is ridiculous for, I mean, basically a couple of pinches is, I don't even know. I mean, common sense. You don't need to coat your whole top of your tank because, I mean, they will eat until they pretty much explode, then they're very lethargic. So it's actually better to feed a little less than a little more, than too much.
Well, some people feed their fish once a day and other people feed them twice a day. We feed ours twice a day, but we give smaller meals.
Right, and so I mean, I just put in a couple of pinches. Maybe it takes them maybe a minute or two, and then they still have some that goes to the bottom. So, yeah, but 2 to 3 minutes for a small fish. I don't know. The big fish are
the big fish are tricky.
Big fish rule technically is
there is no real solid rule for big fish, and the reason for it is you can't go by the just give them what they can eat in 5 minutes because you'd be giving them 4 cans of food.
Yeah, because let me tell you, Sushi
herself
could polish off a whhole can in a minute.
Whenever I feed pellets, I have to scatter them for the koi because Sushi could just Pac-Man.
Yeah,
and then nobody else gets any.
Oh yeah, it's hysterical to watch her.
Right,
so she doesn't play around.
Basically, how I handle it is since I've got a pond that has fish anywhere from 2 feet to I think the smallest is 8 inches.
Yeah.
8 inches to 2 feet. Basically, what I end up doing is feeding twice a day, and I let them kind of tell me when they're starving.
Sorta.
Yeah,
they're always starving.
Well, I also do give them a little bit of a midnight snack.
Right.
So they get 2 full meals a day, and then I give them a little bit of a midnight snack right before lights out, which they love. It's my time with the fish.
Yeah, you play with them and touch them and check them over. It's more of a health check kind of thing for her.
Right, but
and then they get a treat. They get treats, yeah.
Right, but the big thing with them is that I vary their diet. Like today, I gave them a big salad, which is basically a bunch of aquatic plants that I grow in my ponds outside. Right. Washed that off. I threw a big old pile of salad in there. It was gone within 3 minutes. So yeah, I'm not going to throw that many plants in there to give them the 5-minute time limit.
Yeah, they get plenty of, trust me, these fish are not starving.
Right. Meanwhile, I've got like the rope fish, where our longest
can you imagine if you gave the rope fish 5 minutes?
Well, yeah, 5 minutes would be about 1 worm each.
Yeah.
The thing with the rope fish, they don't have the greatest eyesight in the world.
Right.
So what I do is they get their worms once a day. And I put a tablespoon or 2 of the worms in there for them. And they'll immediately come out at first. They'll be like, oh, breakfast time. They'll immediately come out at first. They'll each grab 1. Basilisk will usually grab 2. And now bunyips start to grab 2 too. But they'll usually grab 1. And then they'll eat that. And then they'll swim around and casually wait. And then later on in the afternoon, they'll come back to the pile and they'll grab another one.
And every once in a while, they take them and hide them.
Yes,
I don't know which one was doing that. They hide them. That was... I found
they haven't been doing that as much lately since Bunyip started eating them.
Okay.
Because she can get into hiding spots.
Yeah.
Bunyip's the baby. And she just recently started eating mealworms, so now she's raiding everybody's stash places.
Yeah.
And we also have Tiger in there too. Tiger's
the tiger loach. Tiger's
a golden tiger loach, and he apparently thinks he's a ropefish, and he's starting to try to steal their worms too, which is hilarious.
His mouth is not designed for mealworms, so he just carries it around proudly.
Carries it around proudly. It looks like Groucho Marx with the cigar swimming around.
Tries to eat it. But anyway, so I mean, you just feed them, you just got to kind of use common sense there. You give them enough that they can eat throughout the day.
Right.
Because they do take over several hours to eat them. Mm-hmm. But the smaller fish in a tank, you just give them, a couple pinches of food to satisfy them for a minute or 2.
Right. So the basic, I would say that the advice I would give would be watch your fish and see what their feeding patterns are.
Start smaller.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't throw a whole bunch in there and see if they eat it, because then you have a bunch of waste. I would start small, and if they polish it all off within a minute, then you give them a little more.
Right.
If like I said, 2 minutes is a good. I think 2 to 3 minutes is a good good time frame. Within 2-3 minutes, my fish have finished off pretty much everything.
Right. Most of mine have, but then again, I've got like the rope fish who.
Right.
And
just
the
depends on the fish.
And the plecos are the same way.
Yeah.
The plecos with the pleco wafers.
Yeah.
You throw a wafer in, they're going to wait for that thing to soften up.
Yeah, they don't. Sometimes they go right to them, but then sometimes they don't. Like
Well, the young ones will go.
Yeah, I would say my younger ones go crazy for them as soon as they hit the water. But the bigger ones are like, I'm still over here. I might come over and check it out later.
Right. So.
And then I've got Lucifer, who, as a matter of fact, I do have to vary his diet and put some shrimp or something in there. Mm-hmm. He'll go and grab a pleco wafer and take it into his cave.
Who's Lucifer?
Lucifer is the crayfish, the blue lobster that I have in my tank. He's a jerk. But he's a bottom feeder. He's a crayfish. He eats crap off the bottom, whatever lands. So he tends to he likes pleco wafers, and he likes mealworms, and he likes shrimp pellets, and he eats the flakes. He'll eat anything. But he does, he just eats when he gets, he walks around all the time picking at the garbage on the ground.
Which is actually something that every aquarium should have, and that that is some sort of cleaning crew.
Right.
Now with mine, like with the koi pond, I've got the four plecos.
Yeah.
The common
four
plecos.
Standard plecos. Yeah.
Common plecos.
Common plecos. Yeah.
She calls them standard plecos, but they're common plecos. They're pretty big.
Yeah.
And not that they get a lot on the bottom because there are also 30 koi in there.
Right.
So
we have no problem eating on the floor.
So my plecos have learned to go upside down and eat from the top, and they eat the flakes from the top because they're not getting much on the bottom.
It's completely clear of algae too, by the way. There's not a drop of algae in
there at all.
But
now, all of my tanks either have a bunch of bristlenose plecos in there, the rhino croc plecos, and anything that has a rhino croc pleco in there also have cories in there.
Right.
Corridoras, they come in all kinds of different types. We usually have the emeralds, but I've also got like the spotted and the pandas and the albinos.
Albino ones,
They're cute. You want to keep them, and you want to have at least 3 of them at a time
because they are social fish. Yeah. So you want to have something like the cories are catfish. They are bottom feeders.
Yeah.
Lucifer is a bottom feeder. Some people put shrimp in their tanks, which shrimp are great for cleaning your tanks up. Mm-hmm. Now Lucifer loves it when I put shrimp in the tank because he goes and chases them and eventually kills them.
Kind of like my rowfish love.
Yeah, the rowfish love shrimp
in the tank.
But it is fun to vary their diet, so I do occasionally put shrimp in there for them, and then they clean up for a couple days. And I had one that lived for over a month, and Lucifer chased that damn shrimp around for a month before he finally got it. But I had 12 shrimp I put in there, and he killed the first 11 within a couple of days. But that 12th one, he lived for probably a good month. But anyway,
but
there's also
to have some sort of a.
Some people use big snails. Those
the big apple snails or whatever.
Some people use the small ones. I think they're nasty, but we hate them here.
Yeah, we don't like snails.
But some people use the big apple snails. Mm-hmm. So just something to clean your tank.
Yeah, something to help eat up all that leftover food.
Right.
That way, if you do,
because you are going to have leftover food regardless of how good you do, unless you really underfeed to an extent.
Yeah. If you underfeed, believe me, your fish are going to tell you all about it. Yeah. Overfeeding's more common of a problem, and then some days the fish won't eat as much as they do others too. It's weird, but I've had that happen.
Yeah. Some days they just don't want to mess with it. They just they're slower and they're
so it's
maybe weather or something. I don't know.
So it's always a good idea to have some sort of species in your tank that can act as a cleaning crew. Now they're not going to clean everything.
Completely. Not everything, but they are going to help. Yeah,
but they will definitely help.
And like I said, start small. Mm-hmm. When you first get the fish, you start little bit at a time, and if they finish it all within a minute or two, next time give them a little more. Twice a day is more than enough to feed them. Some people, like I said, only do once a day. Yeah. I vary mine. Sometimes I'll do once a day, sometimes twice. Mm-hmm. I don't always do twice a day. It just depends on how much I happen to throw in there that morning. If I wasn't paying attention and threw a little too much in and I notice it, then they don't get any They don't get any in the evening. So.
See, my koi would jump out of the pond and come knocking.
Mine are
at the
guppies.
kitchen.
They can't really do much damage.
My koi will try to get in the fridge if I forget to feed them.
They'll be like, come out here and eat Roxy and stuff.
Yeah. We'd have real koi rana
going
on.
But if you have any, comments or questions about that, like, subscribe, share, comment below. Go to our website. Go to our page. Buy some stuff.
Yeah, if you go to our website, you'll find everything you've ever wanted to know, including an episode guide and where to find our shop and.
Buy stuff so we can make koi rana.
Yes, the koi rana was only half joking. Yes, we are
actually making koi rana. So
it may be we're
gonna make it as soon as we can get the money together and things.
The money, the time, the crew, build all the props.
That's you. I just get to be in it.
Oh, like you're not gonna help. You're not gonna help.
I know. But anyway, yes, like, subscribe, comment. If you have any comments about how you feed your fish and you don't agree with us, we'd love to hear that and why. Because different types of fish have different priorities. Like, the ones that are that eat the live is different. I'd love to know about those because we don't have any of those, of the carnivorous, like eels. You have the ropefish, but
the ropefish eat the
tadpoles,
and
but
they'll eat small
but the
fish,
true carnivorous ones like the Oscars
You're
and the
saying that they're not true carnivores because they
yours
don't
are pathetically friendly. I'm talking about the ones that try to
and eels and stuff
the
like that.
things that are like rip your finger off, you stick it in there, like like my daughter's foolish child self that she did. She tried to pet her own eel and sliced her hand open on the eel's top.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay,
but anyway, like, subscribe, comment, share below.
Yeah.
Sorry, kid.
And what we'll do is we will go around and we will interview some fish and ask them.
Can you imagine?
We're going to.
Okay.
And we're going to interview some fish and we're going to ask them what they think about a feeding schedule. Hi guys, we got a question for you. So, how often do you guys think you need to be fed?
I'm pretty sure they need to be fed right now. I'm pretty sure they're thinking that.
A little bit.
Watch them, they'll all be like,
yeah, and Sandy's got her damn camera there.
Yeah, see, whenever I have my camera, they don't really act like they normally do, which is they've never eaten before in their whole lives. Sushi will. There goes Sushi.
Sushi. So, guys, how often do you guys need to be fed each day?
At least 6 times, Mom. And look how calm they're acting with the food. Normally they act like they've crazed, never been eaten before in their whole lives.
They don't want to eat in front of people.
They don't want to eat in front of this camera is what it is.
Yeah.
Guys, there he is. Really, guys? That was a dick. Sorry.
That was Kitsune being a dick.